Bismillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Good afternoon, all of you, and uh, in this new recording, we will cover only two pages, page 66 and page 67, as they are the last two pages in Unit 5. So let us start directly on page 66, and we have writing under this title, and let us know how to expand our writing using these sets of expressions, just like additionally, also, and as well. And also we have the second set beside that, furthermore, in addition, moreover. And then lastly we have not only but also, and two is TOO. So all these expressions and or phrases, we use them to expand our writing. And if you want to add any information, you use these words. So in order to add information, we use the following words and phrases. Rewrite the following sentences with the connectors and words. So we have a sentence here, maybe 2 or 3 sentences, and we want to connect them together using the expressions mentioned above. So listen, my professor is an extremely fascinating person. She tells some of the most interesting stories I have ever heard. Okay, use the word number 1, use additionally. Could you use additionally in this sentence? Let us have an example. My professor is an extremely fascinating person. Additionally, she tells some of the most interesting stories I have ever heard. And even I can use in addition to that by saying that my professor is an extremely fascinating person. In addition, she tells some of the most interesting stories I have ever heard. Also the word to, you can use to also in this sentence by saying my professor is an extremely fascinating person. She tells some of the most interesting stories I have ever heard too. So my professor is an extremely fascinating person, and she tells some of the most interesting stories I have ever heard too. You can use also in this sentence by saying my professor is an extremely fascinating person, and she also tells some of the most interesting stories I have ever heard. And also number 5, furthermore, my professor is extremely fascinating person. Furthermore, she tells some of the most interesting stories I have ever heard, and the like. You can use all of them. Look at number 10, not only but also. You can use not only but also in this sentence by saying my professor is not only an extremely fascinating person. Look here, I use not only in this area. My professor is, and then use not only. My professor is not only an extremely fascinating person, but she tells some of the most interesting stories I have ever heard. So this is the right use of the word not only, and the rest are easy. You can use them just like what I have used before. Add information to the following sentence. From number 1 to number 7, you must have to add information to the sentence you already have. There is a dot after by the end of any sentence. So number 1, these days there are pills for just about everything. How can I complete this? I want to add, not completing, but I want to add a sentence for this sentence. Can you suggest? Think of it. These days there are pills for just about everything. Moreover, they exist everywhere worldwide. I used here the word moreover. Moreover, they exist everywhere worldwide. So talking about the pills, these days there are pills for just about everything. Moreover, they exist everywhere worldwide. Okay, go to number 2. If you can't sleep, take a pill. If you can't sleep, take a pill. So use, for example, to, the word to, T-O-O, in this sentence to add information. Yes, try. Okay, number 2. If you can't sleep, take a pill and do exercise too. For someone who can't or who cannot sleep, you can take a pill so as to sleep, and you can do an exercise so that you can sleep. So the sentence, it goes like this: if you cannot sleep, take a pill and do exercise too. Number 3. If you are unhappy, take a pill. If you are unhappy, take a pill. Just to add information, I can say, if you are unhappy, take a pill and listen to any classical music as well. If you are unhappy, take a pill and listen to any classical music as well. So I added this sentence by using the word and as well together. Again, number 3, if you are unhappy, take a pill and listen to classical music as well. Here is overweight, and he is overweight and you don't have time to exercise. No, you can change the word he is from the beginning here, number 4. He is with you are. So the sentence should be like this: you are overweight and you don't have time to exercise. This is the sentence. You are instead of he is from the beginning. امسح الكلمتين he is بدلهم بكلمة you are في البداية عشان تبقى you are overweight and you don't have time to exercise. هذه هي الجملة الموجودة أصلا، يعني this is the sentence that we have. بعد ذاك we want to add. Here in this sentence I want to use the word not only but. Not only but. استخدم الاكسبريشن ده عشان اكمل به ايه، ازيد به معلومه في هذه. طيب I could say not only you are overweight and you don't have time to exercise, but even you don't prefer pills. شايف انا اضفت معلومه بكلمه not only وكلمه but. كيف؟ طيب from the beginning انا استخدمت not only، بديت بكلمه not only، بعد ذاك اجي للجمله you are overweight. Not only you are overweight and you don't have time to exercise, but even you don't prefer pills. In this way I add an information. Number 5, a new fitness pill may soon be available. Type. This is a sentence and we want to add information by using those expressions above this sentence. Number 5, a new fitness pill may soon be available beside new training centers. A new fitness pill may soon be available beside new training centers. So I added this expression by using the word besides. Number 6, scientists are developing a pill that provides the same benefits as exercise. How can I add an information, more information to this sentence? Scientists are developing a pill that provides the same benefits as exercise, as well as there are very wide experiments Again, scientists are developing a pill that provides the same benefits as exercise, as well as they are carrying a very wide experiments to prove it as useful. Scientists are developing a pill that provides the same benefits as exercise, as well as they are carrying a very wide experiments to prove it as useful. So this is number 6. Number 7, according to a BBC report, the fitness pill will build muscle, increase stamina, and burn fats as well. Yes, I use the word as well to add an information for this step, which is number 7. According to a BBC report, the fitness pill will build muscle, increase stamina, and burn fats as well. Okay, go down to a discussion. Yes, preparation for lectures. How can I prepare for a lecture? How can I prepare for a lecture? This is before a lecture, and then we have also in the second page we have during the lecture, during lectures and before lectures. So there are some measurements should be done from students to prepare themselves. Yes, look at number 1. There is a question here. All of them are questions. How do you find out that your lectures relate to your course as well, as a whole? How do you find out that your lectures relate to your course as a whole? Anyway, this question is not clear, but if I am right, I could say that this is depending on what you know about the general outline of the course. Some doctors they give students general outlines about the course at the beginning of the first lecture, and then depending on this, a student can decide whether the lectures are relating to his course as a whole. This is number 1. So number 2, these are questions for discussion. You may true or be right or wrong, and you can add an information as you like. Number 2, do the seminars or tutorials prepare you for the lectures? Also in this step, many teachers arrange students into groups and have seminars, divide all lectures into subtitles and carry seminars. Each group have 10 minutes showing what they know about this title. This is before the lecture or during the lecture. When they did this before the lecture, it gives students general knowledge or understanding about what is going to be or what is going to happen in a lecture, so they can be prepared much. So in this way they can understand so much. So do the seminars or tutorials prepare you for the lecture? The answer is yes, because seminars and tutorials before the lectures will prepare students for the lecture as it said. Number 3, do they follow up the lectures? Yes, they must follow up the lectures. They must follow up the lectures because having this before a lecture, as I have mentioned in number 2, it gives you some hints about the lecture, about the topics which you are going to have during the lecture. So this is a good way of preparing yourself before the lecture. So don't stay until the lecture. The writer here wants to make you aware about preparation before getting into lecture is so much important for you that will prepare you much. Number 4, will you be able to discuss the lecture content in seminars? Will you be able to discuss the lecture content in seminars? Yes, you can do this, because here also the teacher can make students into groups and divide the lectures, the whole lectures of the course, for example, to students so as to be presented as in seminars. And in this way, all class or all students or all groups can stop at the general outlines of the seminar of the course they are going to have before getting into the course, so they will be ready enough to have these lectures later when they have it inside class with their doctors. Number 6, doing preparatory reading will make it easier for you to follow the lecture. Also, it is right, but this is not in group, but is individual reading. So you can read, for example, the topic of the lecture, of the coming lecture. If you have this with you, you can read the all topics of the lecture before coming into class. So in this way, you can be alert, you can be in touch with the lecture, because you have some hints before. In this way, you can follow your teacher as attentive as you can, and you couldn't get out of the topic. For number 7, when the lecture is part of a series, you should revise your notes from previous lectures. Though this is a matter of linking the topics together. If you have to get into a new topic, you must have to link it with, join it with the last one. So in this way, you can join the subject matter of the topic you are going to deal with your teacher. So also we have during lectures. Yes. What are the things that you should have to do during the lecture? What we know is that before here, this is preparation before lecture, but here what we should have to follow during the lecture. Also we have 1 up to 5. There are questions. Number 1, which is more useful during the lecture, to listen or to take notes? You know that many students are varied. Some students listen carefully. They do not lean to take notes, but they only listen and follow the doctor what he says. And then after finishing the lecture, they can write these notes, what they have listened. But others usually take notes during the lecture. So students are varied. So that's why you can find them have these 2 strategies during the lecture. Number 2, what will happen if you listen effectively? What will happen if you listen effectively? In this case, if you listen effectively, you can relate the subject matter together. What is effective listening? Effective listening, it means that you make a conscious effort to understand. You should have to exert much effort so as to understand the lecture. So for students who listen carefully or attentively, they can actually relate all topics of the lecture together, and this will help them to understand it clearly and quietly. Number 3, what is effective listening? As we said, that effective listening means that to make a conscious effort to understand what you are listening. From this part, from this step, you can feel that listening is so much important than taking notes, as if the writer would like to say this. But anyway, to my belief, I think you have to listen and then take notes together as well, so that you can remember, and retrieve things that you have written during the lecture. Number 4, when you listen effectively, you will have a better understanding of the content. Agree or disagree? Yes, I agree, and you agree. With having attentive listening means that good understanding to the content of the lecture. Lastly, do you signpost the structure while you listen to a lecture? Signpost words like, for example, such as, for instance, so the word that you use them to add, for example, if you want to add examples during the lecture. So the question is, do you use these signposts?